the Sports Renegades podcast on SportstownChicago.com. Welcome back to the Sports Renegades here on SportstownChicago.com. I'm Ryan Stuprich.
And I'm Ryan Risky. And just because you kind of teased at Michael Jordan that the Bulls are playing his team, did you know that Michael Jordan had more career games that he had 60 points or more than games that he had fewer than 12?
Really? That is remarkable.
His time with the Bulls, at least. His time with the Bulls.
Yeah, well, I don't really count the Wizards as his playing career anyway. But.
That's fun. He had like 6 60-point games and only 3 games under 12.
Yeah, that's
and you could assume that maybe one of those games he got injured and had to leave.
Yeah, you would think so. That's really amazing. I did not know that. That's pretty awesome. All right, let's talk about the NFL. We talked a little bit earlier about it, but let's sort of recap what happened. Obviously, with the Bears, they got is his name Parnell or Purnell McPhee?
Purnell McPhee.
Purnell McPhee.
Yep.
Just like same name as the Paul Blue Demons head coach, Oliver Purnell. But obviously, one's better than the other, right? Okay, so they got Purnell McPhee. They signed Antrell Roll. A little.
Eddie Royal.
Yeah, they got Eddie Royal. The Antrell Roll contract, it's a little high, but
3 years, $11 million.
But
they needed a veteran safety.
So I think he's going to fit in well, and I think the Bears are definitely not necessarily contenders next year, but they're not going to give up 50 points back to back.
According to Ted Phillips, they're going to contend next year, which everyone knows that Ted Phillips is a moron.
Yeah, let's just have him worry about how many tickets are sold.
Right, yeah. Let him worry about making money now.
And how their soft drink of choice is Dr. Pepper at Soldier Field. No Coke, no Pepsi.
Oh, no, yeah, they have
RC, which is so bad. I hate RC Cola.
I do, too.
They have RC and Dr. Pepper as their soft drinks of choice there. So they have no partnership with Coke and Pepsi, probably because it costs too much money.
The thing is, you think that probably will, yeah. That is typical Bears right there. Cheap.
I mean, Allstate Arena has Pepsi. I mean, all these no-name, arenas.
I think every place has Coke or Pepsi except Soldier Field. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that high school stadiums have Coke and Pepsi.
Yeah, at my high school they sold Coke. I mean, it wasn't. It was like just the bottles they would hand out, but I mean, everyone usually has Coke or Pepsi, and
except the Bears.
They do not. They have Dr. Pepper, which I imagine most people probably get beer anyway, but. I mean,
yeah, really.
That's sort of the main drink at and especially NFL games. That's the main drink of choice. But
now the funny thing is, in the suites there, they actually have Coke.
Well, that's nice, but they can't shelve it out to the people on the main concourse.
Yeah, no. There's just a lot about the Bears and how cheap they are that I just want to be like, really?
Yeah, it makes a lot of people mad, all the crap that they do.
Yeah, having the smallest stadium and then they don't care just because they make a ton of money with all the suites.
It's all about winning that Super Bowl, baby. But
they're not winning any
I'm not sure if the Bears are going to be in any Super Bowl anytime soon.
Do they not realize that one of the reasons that a team like Seattle is so good at home is because of the stadium?
Yeah, that's a big. I mean,
that is a big reason of it.
The 12th man. I mean, you can't hear yourself thinking there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's so loud in that stadium. I mean, and the thing is, it's not like saying, "Oh, Seattle would lose more games at home." They're still a good team, except that makes them better.
Yeah, I agree. It certainly makes them a better team, and plus, you just I think the team and players want to play better when you have people around you, and when it's when it's more of a winning environment. Where at Soldier Field, it doesn't feel like a winning environment, even when they're when they're up by a couple touchdowns, it doesn't feel like a winning environment.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the last time really it felt like a winning environment at Soldier Field to me was the year they went to the NFC Championship game, and even the year after.
Yeah.
It didn't really feel like that. The 10-6 year didn't feel like that because remember they had trouble scoring on offense. It was the defense scoring all the touchdowns.
I didn't go to a game in 2012, but
I was at a game against the Panthers and they won by 1 point, and it was because Tim Jennings had a pick six.
A friend of mine went to that game in 2012 where the Bears lost in overtime to the Seahawks.
Oh. Man, I mean, And during the middle of that Panthers game, people were booing and screaming and swearing at the offense. It was like
now it's even worse.
So bad, and that was a team that was at the time 6-1.
Yeah,
and then they went to 7-1, and people are still booing like late in the game. I mean, it was crazy. Like it did not feel like a winning atmosphere.
Right, and but they did add some good pieces. They're coming off, their lowest point in franchise history. So,
Brandon Marshall said that he's glad to be playing with for a team that has a defense. Which, I mean, you don't want him to be taking shots at your team like that. Except at the same time, he was on a team with one of the most pathetic defenses in the history of the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Or two of them, actually. Two of the most pathetic defenses in the history of the game.
Right, and I guess Jets fans think that they might have a chance this year. They're trying to
need a quarterback.
They're trying to put together a competitive team. Yeah, the only issue, as we said, Geno Smith. I mean maybe there's an issue there when you have Geno Smith as the starter.
Right. I mean, they've got a good defense. They re-signed Darrelle Revis and Antonio Cromartie, and they were the cornerback duo back when they went to the championship game 2 straight
So you
years.
got your cornerbacks, you got your premier wide receiver with Marshall,
and Eric Decker,
and Eric Decker, who is a very good. He's an underrated receiver as well.
Pretty solid offensive line.
Yeah, and their running backs are pretty good too. I don't know about Ivory, but they certainly have some options there.
Yeah, I think Chris Johnson's a free agent though. I don't think
so we don't know where
him.
he's going to sign. And then of course DeMarco Murray. Where did he end up? He signed with the Eagles, right?
He did 5 years, $42 million.
So Dallas might be heading down that slippery slope that they were going down of 8-8 again.
I hate Cowboys fans because they're saying, "Oh, DeMarco Murray didn't mean anything to our season."
That's the reason why you went to the playoffs.
That is the reason why you went to the play. If you gave them like an average running back, like a Chris Ivory,
he was second MVP to Aaron Rodgers last season.
And the Cowboy fans are saying, "Oh no, Tony Romo's our team MVP." No, he's not. He doesn't throw the ball anymore.
Tony Romo.
When he starts throwing the ball, then he's going to start throwing your interceptions. These fans are morons.
I know.
I hate Cowboys fans. I hate the Packers, except I can live with their fans. I just hate Cowboys fans. They know absolutely nothing. When you give them now they're probably just going to have like some 5th-round running back starting, and then when he's averaging 2 yards per carry, Tony Romo's going to have to be trying to win games, and then he won't.
Yeah, it's definitely.
And then they'll want Jerry Jones' head again.
Yep, and Jerry Jones, fork up the money to save DeMarco Murray. Don't let him go.
He offered him a nice contract, though. They offered him a 4-year, $20 million deal.
Yeah.
They offered him only $5 million a year.
I'm not sure if Jerry Jones and DeMarco Murray ever got along too well.
It doesn't sound like him and Des Bryant get along.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people consider Jerry Jones, not a very nice guy. He's not a racist,
worst owners.
But he's definitely a bad owner, and he doesn't really know how to keep his players on his team, and they'll never win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they are running. They are. I believe they are literally against the salary cap, though.
Yeah, they're in a heap of trouble, and their division just got stronger for sure.
And remember, Jerry Jones wanted to draft Johnny Manziel, and he got overruled by the rest of the personnel.
Yeah, well, actually, that division actually is quite weak with the Redskins, Giants, and Eagles and Cowboys. The Eagles made some interesting moves. They're probably going to be the preseason favorites in that division.
Yeah, or maybe. The Eagles did.
Maybe
they really had a roster overhaul. They got a young linebacker for LaShawn McCoy. They swapped quarterbacks, getting Sam Bradford, except they lost their first-round pick.
Yeah, that you can't do, and that really helps St. Louis an awful lot.
How many? St. Louis has been getting first-round picks like there's no tomorrow.
Right. If Sam Bradford, if he has a healthy season, he's supposed, he's still has high hopes of being a really good quarterback.
Right. He was never in a good offensive system. He was bad running back, bad offensive line, bad wide receivers.
Yeah, so, but if he can stay healthy, the Philadelphia Eagles could definitely win that division. And same on the other side. St. Louis can be competitive. They'll never beat Seattle, but they can be competitive.
Oh yeah,
get a wild card. That might be looking too far into it because there's probably some other good teams in the NFC, but
not the Bears.
You could possibly get a wild card. Yeah, and I'm sure that they could probably overpass the Bears. I think we do play St. Louis.
Yeah, we play that division.
So that's
I believe
that's
we
gonna be
play.
interesting.
It should be.
Yeah, we play.
So we're going to be San Francisco's here, Seattle's in Seattle. That'll be a loss.
That'll be fun with Jimmy Graham.
Oh yeah, since they traded Max Unger.
Oh God, that's going to be interesting.
And a first-round pick and I believe a 7th-round pick to the Saints for Jimmy Graham and a 4th-round pick. I mean,
Saints
Seattle
are in rebuilding mode
now.
I guess. Yeah,
Seattle won that trade. I mean, the Saints obviously needed to get some salary cap, and they wanted a good center. I mean, Max Unger is one of the best centers in the game. And going back to the Bears' safety when they signed Antrell Roll, I'd rather have Antrell Roll for his contract than give a guy like Devin McCourtney $9 million a year. Like I don't want to be paying a safety $9 million a year unless his name is Earl Thomas.
Right, I see.
Or
what you're
Cam
saying.
Chancellor.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think Devin McCourty was. Well, I think Antrell Roll brings more value on his contract than Devin McCourty does for $9 million.
Right. Yeah, that's for sure. I'm trying to think. Was there any more big moves that we missed talking about that happened?
Oh, well, the
so far?
Colts signed Andre Johnson and Frank Gore.
Yeah, the Colts. I mean, talk about a team that is on the cusp of a Super Bowl. I mean, they're right there.
They had $40 million in salary cap to spend, and they spent it. Well, they didn't just go and sign a ton of guys. They went and spent it wisely, getting needs, getting an upgrade over Hakeem Nicks at wide receiver since Reggie Wayne has departed. They got Andre Johnson and T.Y. Hilton, and now they got a power runner like Frank Gore. And they cut Trent Richardson.
I saw that. They did. So we don't know where he's going to end up, if anywhere. But we'll have to see. Okay, well, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk more about the NFL and everything going on. We'll talk about the NBA and college basketball a little later on as well. You're listening to the Sports Renegades, SportsTownChicago.com. Stay with us. The Sports Renegades podcast on SportsTownChicago.com.